Have you had any issues with deposits or deposits kind of going missing? The best thing a bookkeeper can do for you is to make sure that your bank accounts, your credit card statements are reconciled each and every month. This will save you a ton of money. I once experienced the situation where I was working for a company as their bookkeeper. I would come in once a month and reconcile all the bank statements and all the deposit information and any payments that had to go in and out, as well as do the payroll. It's fairly straightforward. It was not a huge job, so it only took once a week. Maybe I'd go in, but once a month for sure I'd do all the reconciliations. Well, interestingly enough, we had a situation where there was a young person in the office that would collect all the donations and deposits and would actually put the money into the bank because they were the ones at the office and walking distance to the bank. And I would get the information with all the details as to who was making the deposit, how much it was for, the check, all that stuff, and copies of it. And that was awesome. However, a month would go by and these deposits did not go through the bank. They were missing. Well, I did the first thing to do was go to the bank. Maybe it was coded to the wrong bank account, which has happened. Someone else has received deposits in the past. So double check with the bank first, number one. That's their first place to go. The second thing, which this has happened before, when they do, they drop deposits on the outside of the building for like night deposits. So you drop a bag into a big metal bin and it closes and it goes into a box on the other side. Great, that's awesome. Well, one time, it was the beginning of the month and I was working with a property management company and all the deposits that were done for that on the first were missing. They did not go into the bank. And so within a day or two, we were wondering, what the heck, it's got to be there. That's a lot of money. So the bank actually called in someone to come in and look at the night deposit bin. They actually had to take it apart and there was a bunch of deposits stuck in the night deposits where it should have went through a little vent that goes into a bin, but it didn't go through. So it was stuck there. So really important to follow up on all these deposits. So those are two common issues that does, well, the second one's not so common, but it has happened. One of the other ones that happened that was very concerning was that there was a young person in the office that would be collecting all the checks and writing out the deposit slips and going to the bank to make the deposits. Fabulous. That should have been done regularly, at least once a week. Any deposits should be done weekly at the very latest. You don't want to hold on to checks for months on end. They will stale date after so many months. I believe it's 6 months with the bank. So if you have a check from January 2018, it will not go through as of September 2018, as an example. Sometimes they'll go through, sometimes they will not. They will be held. So just be aware of those situations. However, this one situation where the deposits were supposedly being made, I'm doing reconciliations and I'm looking at the bank a month later, these deposits are not there. They're missing. So I'm going to the bank, do all my follow-up, talk to the bank, look at the deposits areas and how were these deposited. There was no indication that these deposits were ever made, but yet we couldn't locate these. So we were having to really dig around the office and find out if there was anything that might have been left behind. Well, lo and behold, a month after that, they were miraculously found in someone's bag at home. They were never deposited, even though it was sworn up and down that these were done. This is really, really important that if you have a young person in the office that's learning how to do all this stuff and making sure that there's checks and balances in place to make sure that this person is actually doing their job. Doesn't matter who it is or what they're doing, there has to be checks and balances in place. Part of bookkeeper's check and balance is the bank reconciliation process. And I'm so grateful for that because I catch my own mistakes. I find things that, oh, hey, we got double charged for this one. We need to go back to the bank and fix that. Or go back to the company that charged us twice. There's so much involved with bank reconciliations, and they can save you hundreds and thousands of dollars, because I've seen extra zeros being added on to checks that cleared the account. So we definitely need to make sure that we're on top of that every month. So if you're doing your own books, be aware of those things. Be aware that the deposits have to be made, and that you know that in your deposit book, they should be in your bank statement. Double check everything. Now, I hope you found this useful, and if you have any comments or suggestions that you'd like to see, please put them in the comments down below, and I'll hopefully add them to the next video in the next couple of days. And I look forward to hearing from you. This is Renette Legace.